I didn't like that. All right, we'll just go ahead and draw. Upside down. It doesn't look right. Just try it here. Oh, there we go. Why is it looking so blurry? It's looking really blurry. All right, so welcome to Sketchbook Heroes. So welcome, Sketchbook Heroes. This is Wrap to Draw, where we learn about drawing and learning about, we're going to just talk about just basic forms. We're going to be, let me see if I can try printing one more time. What's going on? So, sorry, bear with me. There it goes. All right, so starting off with a circle, we're going from shapes, learning to see shapes, to learning to see form. Starting to, this is the next level. So when you're drawing, you want to practice drawing your shapes and looking for shapes and seeing the shapes. Once you do that, am I upside down? There we go. Once you do that, you'll get better. And then the next level is drawing forms. So this is where we're at, drawing forms. So shapes are flat, form is three-dimensional. Now, what makes form very difficult is that it changes as it moves. So if you have a block or whatever it is, a three-dimensional form like this eraser here, as you move and as you move around it, it changes, right? So that's where wrap really helps, because you're looking at the ratios, the angles, especially the angles, and then proportions to help you draw what you see. All right, so we got our circle, our sphere. We're going to draw a cube, and then we'll draw a pyramid. Drawing the cube, you always have like one side that's kind of the closest, and the most sides you can see is 3, right? Even though a cube has 6 sides, unless it was made of glass, then you could see through it. So I always like drawing the side that's closest to me. And these lines are usually vertical, straight up and down. So we'll draw one line. This is the way I like to draw it. So draw one line. And this could be a table. This could be anything that you see. Is usually there's cubes everywhere. You're in a cube. You're in a box. You might have had cereal from a box, right? So this basic form is everywhere. So you want to see the side that's closest to you first, and then the angles, right? And usually the side that's closest to us is usually vertical or straight up and down. And then there's these angles here. So you want to, if you're actually drawing something, you want to look and see the angle, use your pen to actually look at the object. I'm going to go ahead and draw this at that angle, and then this one at that angle here. Slightly different angles. And that's my Y. Okay, so we're starting off with Y. Why are you drawing? It's good to know your why. Just for fun is a good purpose. To observe, to draw, to see, to think. There we go. And then from here, we have all these are the 3 main angles. And we have our vertical angle. We're going to continue. We're going to copy that over here, vertical angle. That's straight up and down. That's this side, and then this side. From Y, we go to the letter M. This M here. Usually. All right. And this is how I teach you. You don't have to draw it in this order once you learn, but it's good to have an order. It's good to have a process. It's good to see, okay, here's, and then once you get to practice it, you just see it. You just see it. Now there's, this one has the 2 copies. Now each one of these has 2 copies. So this angle here, we're going to take it and bring it back. So this same angle we need to bring that back at that angle to the back, right? It's the same angle going back to here, right? It's going up. Some people draw these cubes with two squares, that's fine. But you can't get the variety of cubes moving through space. And then once you get into perspective, you really understand, oh, how angles kind of really affect stuff. But when you're seeing things, you're looking at the edges, you're looking at angles. So we have that one, and then we have the bottom one, which is still the same angle, unless we have perspective. Perspective would change that. Oops, the angle's a little off. That same angle here is here. There we go. So we got our two sides. And then this angle here is this angle below. And back here, it's that same angle. All right. I came across when I was in my classroom some isometric paper. Oh, I also came across some other drawings. I'll share those drawings, some paintings that I did a long time ago. Actually about maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10. I don't know. I was in that classroom 10 years ago, in that class 10 years. So I was just going through stuff. Came across some old drawings. All right, there's our cube. We won't worry about shading, but if you'd like to shade, you can put a little bit of shading just to practice. But shading, you want to practice drawing cubes for a while though, before you even get into shading and practicing your shading. If you want to practice your shading, you can do that too. But you know, for a while, you want to focus on just looking for cubes too, looking to see them around you. If you want to use your imagination, take your cube and make it into something else. Somebody throw something in the chat. Can you do the cube again? Yes. All right, I'll do the cube again. So we'll do it again. So we'll start again. We'll start with the closest. I'm going to go a little faster this time. Start with the closest line. Then we have this. I'm going to change the angle. I'll change this angle. I'm going to make this angle a little more steep so you can see how it changes. And then here, and there's actually a website, drawcube.com, has some good exercises on there. But the website is a little convoluted, but it has great exercises. So you can see my angles are different from the ones here. But these are my three main angles. There's my Y. Start with Y. And then I'm going to echo my angles. So this angle here, and I'm going to make this not a cube. I'm going to make it more of a block. I'm going to actually go a little bit longer with it just for the fun of it, to make it different. See, you want to play with this. This should be fun. Play with these shapes. There we go. I'm going to go a little bit taller. There we go. See, there it is. There's the M. So from Y to M. So we got Yesenia, and Yesenia, I don't know what your last name is, but we'll say it's M. So she's the cubist. She's the cubist, YM. So we go from Y to M. And now choose the other two angles. So we're going to go with this angle here, and we're going to go and draw as, if you're, if you have time, you get it, practice doing this. It's about the practice. It's about the practice. Oh, this angle's a little bit higher. Try to copy that angle. And then this, I know we have our badge, but I haven't made the test yet, and I haven't even really passed out the people who passed the badges, yet. You have to bear with me while I get things to flow. And then we have this angle. I've already started. I'm just doing it automatically without talking about it. There we go. And then looking at seeing how shadows drop, and depending on where your light source is, and that's a whole other might be another day, depending on where you're at, if you're ready. So I know some of you are ready. I've been drawing cubes already. All right, let's go to the next level, shade and seeing where the light comes from. And usually the shadow, we'll talk about the shadow real quick, is the outline of this. So if you look at the outside, this usually is what the shadow should look like. So this light here, could say this would be this side here, this there, this back, actually it would be the shadow from here, but it's this inverted, and depending on the light source, it would change angles. And then you have this angle there, and it's usually probably the same angle there. And then this angle going back, so you can have this angle. Actually, these two lines should be parallel, because these are these two, and this, depending on the light source. but usually these two are parallel. If the light is really far, like the sun, then you get parallel lines. But if it's really close, you have like a flashlight. That light kind of sprays and it spreads out. So depending on the light source, depends on your shadows, but it'd be something like that. Yep. All right, good. I'm glad somebody requested another cube. And very similar, the last actually, because there's 5 basic forms. It's the sphere, and we won't talk about the sphere today, shading it. There's a lot of parts to it. There's a coarse shadow and highlight, and it's a little more challenging to actually shade because you have to blend it. I'll shade it real quick. Practice. You'll see it everywhere, even stretched out. So there's our, and then the shadow is actually the easiest because it's always the same shape. It's always either a circle or a ellipse. Almost forgot that word, ellipse. There we go. All right, let's go with the cube and the cone. The cube and the cone. So the cube, I'm sorry, the pyramid. So the pyramid is very similar to the cube. We have a base, and I actually start off with the base instead of the, so instead of the Y, I start off with, if it was the Y, let's see, it's these two angles, except for without the bottom. This is the top part though. So I look for these 2 angles, the base. And it's good when you're looking at, you usually don't see too much of these shapes. Maybe during Egyptian times you would, but you don't see a lot of pyramids. Maybe at the top of a post or something, top of a building. Once you have these 2 angles, then I usually actually, depending on, I find the center. I'm going to exaggerate this side so you can see what I'm talking about, this line. So I go from this point and this point, and I find the middle between those 2 points, right? So the middle between these 2 points. And this is important because so it looks, so you can see that find the center is important. Let's see. There we go. There's 2 points. My center, I can actually fold my paper in half and see that the center is there. So if I bring that center up, my center point, or the point that's going to be the top, it should be on this line. If it's low, if it's high, I'm going to put it right there. And these angles go up to that point. There's that one. There's this one. Slight angle. Using my, I would actually, it would be better to use my whole, instead of my wrist. That's why I'm getting a little bit of a curve. And then here is more of my, there we go. And that's a better way to find that point. Because what happens sometimes is that I've seen pyramids, my students do this all the time, where the pyramids are lopsided like that. So be careful not to have your, unless you want them to be leaning forward, the Leaning Tower of Egypt somewhere. There we go. So that's why it's important to find the center or find that point. And you can actually make it into a pyramid. If I were to make it into a pyramid, I would put these lines in that direction. And then these lines in this direction. And they would go all the way up if these were bricks. They'd be going up that way. And then or stones. And then you'd have an angle on them, depending on the angle. And that angle would be the same. Same thing on this side, finding the center, and then everything would kind of have that angle. And each of these stones, if you want to offset them, that's how I would do that. There you go. And that's a little bonus because I know we've done this before, but little bonus extra stuff is good. Just got a little message. What is that? All right, so next we're going to draw the cone. Now the cone is really important to learn how to draw the ellipse, the ellipse. So when you're drawing an ellipse, an ellipse is just a circle, right, in space. And and the cylinder too. This is why drawing the ellipse is really important, because it goes from a circle to actually flat. So if you're looking at, let's see, let's find something that's circular real quick. Ah, my new Bitcoin. All right, so I got a Bitcoin. It's actually pretty cool. So if you're looking at it straight, it's a circle, and as you turn it, it changes to an ellipse. Now you want to look for this and practice drawing that ellipse. It's a little dark, but you can see it there. Drawing that ellipse, because it's in a lot of different places. You'll see it in a lot of different places. So even the ellipse that I just did it before I even brought out my coin, I can actually draw my coin in here if I wanted to. The B that goes here, the Bitcoin, and it's not a real Bitcoin, but it's interesting. A real Bitcoin is digital. All right, there we go. And then it would be all the little designs on here and stuff. All right, so that's really important. So we're going to draw, because I said the cone first. So we'll do the cone. We'll do the cone right here. Now the drawing the ellipse, you only need, well, it depends. If you're looking up at the cone, you'll see the bottom of it, right? And then also the center, we bring the center up. I'm using the edge of the paper. That's why I'm getting a really straight edge. I can actually, as I got that center of the paper. So here we just go out to the corners, and there's our cone. And we're looking up at it. If we didn't see this part, then we would be, yeah. And this also has a coarse shadow here, looking at the shapes and stuff like that. But our focus again is just learning the forms. Shading and all that stuff comes with time. You should really only focus on one thing until you get it, and then move on to something else. I saw this watercolor class, and the teacher was like, oh, it said beginning watercolor. I'm like, oh, I'll take a look at this. And he was like mixing all these colors, and I'm like, oh, this is not beginning. I mean, the drawing was pretty straightforward, but no, it wasn't a beginning drawing. It's going a little too much. Yeah, so famous Mark Twain quote is, don't let your schooling get in the way of your learning. So, you know, if I'm not explaining it right, you know, you have to take that ownership and say, hey, wait a minute, I'll do it. I'm going to practice till I get it, or ask questions, because sometimes I might not explain it well. There we go. There's our cone. Or even shading it. How do you shade it? If you have that question, all right, cool. Let's figure out how to shade it. Talk about shading. But don't worry about the shading. If you want to try the shading, that's fine. Good to go. And if you want to get creative, we can. All right, we got to get to our stick figures. We got our cylinder, and then we'll be done. If there's any questions or requests, you can put it in the chat. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do our cylinder. Here it is. You can see our cylinder, this cylinder here, and some of the shading, the shadows. And that's a good way to remember. You can see that the outline of this top outline is kind of what you see here as far as the shadows. But we're not worrying about the shadows. We're just drawing those forms. So practice drawing ellipses. Just practice, like, look and see how I just did that. It's almost automatic. I don't even think about it. I just, okay, try to get it. And there it is. Now the biggest thing that students always do with these ellipses, the cylinder, is they make the bottom straight. The bottom echoes the top. So it curves and the bottom curves. It's that same curve. It's that same curve. Okay, don't do it straight. All right, here it is. All right. All right. Now shading, this is actually probably a good place to start shading, because here, this is probably the easiest to shade. It's the first challenge. The first challenge is actually gradation or a gradient. Gradients are hard for students to see, so I'm sure if you're having that trouble, you're not alone. There's usually a core shadow, and then it goes lighter. So gradient is when something goes from dark to light in a smooth fashion, almost like that's where pastels are great, because you can get those nice gradients, those really soft tones. Just like Georgia O'Keeffe. If you're anywhere near Los Angeles, go to the LA County Museum. Oh my gosh, they had a beautiful Georgia O'Keeffe in there. Oh my gosh, I was just, I love her work. Really soft, and yeah, there you go. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go have my core shadow, the darkest part. Then it goes lighter. And then here, just slowly but surely, just get it to light. Get lighter. And then on this side, I can probably go a little bit darker. Depends on where the light is coming from. But you want to try to get the gradients. And also depending on what kind of material it is too. Depending on the material. And sometimes you just want to have contrast. So I would like maybe put some shading in the background to make that pop. And this all goes with shading and other lessons, but don't worry about that. Hopefully I'm not confusing you or making it too much. Don't worry about the shading so much. Cross hatching there. All right, we're done. All right, great, great, great. So there's our forms. We are going to be drawing figures. We'll give you like a 2-minute break if you want to add to your drawings. Maybe if something reminds you of something, this could be a truck. We're still doing angles. This could be a truck. If you want to play with some of these forms, actually, I should give you some more than 2 minutes to do that, to play with these forms. And if you're doing it with pencil, then I would be able to erase. But I'm going to bring this angle down. It's just using your imagination, and not only your imagination too. When you don't have a pencil and you're out and about, look for cubes. Spend a day. Okay, I'm going to look for cubes today. Be on a hunt. Be on a search. Oh, there's a cube. There's a cube. Oh, there's a cube. And then spend another day. I'm going to look for spheres today. Like you don't have enough to worry about. I'm sure everybody's got their busy lives. No, but you gotta, if you do have time, if you do have, sometimes we just, I don't know, your level of commitment, depending on your level of commitment. And then you're looking at those things. And if you're really committed, you would have your sketchbook and taking it around with you and saying, oh, there's a cube, and draw it. Oh, there's a cylinder. There's an ellipse. Looking for ellipses. Where's the ellipse? That's a good one. Looking for the ellipses. Tires, see the tires, ellipse. There's my truck. A big, because it's moving time. Bumper on it. Could have made it into almost anything. I'll put a little bit of shade here for a little bit of contrast from the tops. And I am using a pen. This is a Pentel. Wow. It's just a ballpoint pen. So I can't erase. All right. All right, so we'll give you another minute. If you want to add anything, oh, this ball could be something. You want to add a face to the ball. Oh, I saw a really cute drawing. I mean, I'm just going through student work and throwing some stuff out. It was a really simple. Well, actually, I'll share my drawings, my paintings right now, I guess. Simple character. I was like, oh my gosh, and it was, it was out of proportion, but it was. Just. I don't know. Let's change the eyebrows. That makes him look sad, but he's happy. Or maybe even. I remember students drawing red bloodshot eyes. All right, anyways. But you see, there's a difference from a circle to a sphere. If this was more of a sphere. All right, let me show you the paintings. All right. So the first one, these are actually done in tempera. This is students' work right here. This one right here. Speaking of shading and understanding form, that was a student's work. That was done in ink. And these other ones are tempera. I think I have another student work too. Let me see some other student. Let me show you student work first. No, this is mine. I did that one. Yeah, this is, oh yeah, this is a self-portrait, student self-portrait. See, we actually didn't even talk about proportions so much. And then here, value, seeing lights and darks. So on a black piece of paper with a white, I don't know if this is pastel or I think it's a grease pencil, a white grease pencil on a black construction paper, seeing the values. And then, I'll show you my self-portrait. I guess, where's that self-portrait at? Oh no, I did this one. This one's not finished. That one's not finished. I just blocked it in, but this is tempera. It's tempera paint. I was telling students, they was like, oh, you can use tempera paint, but now we have a lot of acrylic. Oh, this is, a student did this one. That's tempera as well. It's student work left behind. This one's mine. I did it in blue. It's a little, I went big. Go big or go home. I look really serious. It was back in the days. It just did it, I guess, pretty quick. Did it in class. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think she did a better job than I did. Oh, that mustache is not there. That's the computer program is doing that. Oh, you see it's, and then where's the mustache? There it goes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I really don't have a mustache. It's the computer program. No, I'm just kidding. I do. And then, and then here's this one. It made a big mustache. That's funny. Yeah, how funny. If I go, I cover some of it. That's too funny. But I actually, I did this one, but I actually used a photograph with a mustache. How funny. Oh my gosh. I still haven't found where that mustache is coming from. But, as long as it doesn't interfere with the work. All right, we're going to get into drawing, figure drawing today. We're going to start with stick figures. So yes, a stick figure. So we're going to start off with a stick figure. And just to give you the concept. So yeah, if you're drawing figures, it is the head. It is the, actually when you're drawing stick figures, this is the way most people draw figures, just like this. But we are going to be doing something different. We're going to be adding the shoulders, which you can see I add the shoulders. Now the shoulder length here, this is really important. It's kind of, there is a length to it, and it's usually 3 heads width. So you have your head, and it's usually you can fit 2 heads on the sides of that. So that's proportion wise. If it's not exact, that's okay. It's usually you can see 1 head and another head. It depends on if it's straight on, that would be there. And then you have this, and then we also are going to add the hips to it, the hips. So we're going to have the hips and the legs like this. So that's basically that one addition. And the second addition to a regular stick person are the joints. So the joints are really important. Where are the joints? All right, so one thing is the hands actually go down to the hips, or to the anatomical middle. It's called the anatomical middle. So this is the anatomical middle here, the hips, or the top of the hips. Ooh, oh, that's interesting. We'll have to play with this. I haven't played with that enough. We'll do it today. All right, so we've got that, and then we've got the top of the head to the hips, to the bottom of the feet. That's where the feet should be. This is kind of the center there. That helps with proportions and getting your characters or your figures into proportion. You have your elbows and your knees. Right about there. And a person is about 7 to 8 heads tall. So if your character, we can make the head smaller or bigger, but we can move the head to the side like this. And we have 1. It's good to know the proportions too. Let's see how well I did. Actually, let's actually use this paper here. Do a quick test to see how well my proportions are. If I need to make the head bigger or smaller, I would do that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my unit. 5, 6.5. So I would probably make my head maybe a little smaller, just proportion wise, or make stretch some things out a little bit more. But usually that's the proportion. All right. Now, what else? Oh, in the chest. It's usually you know, a circle shape. I would go around here because this doesn't really move. You have your all this bone mass in here doesn't really move. All right. Now for the fun stuff. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to actually, if you go to our website, there's a link where it says sports figures. I'm going to print that out. And if you want, and I'll put it in the chat as well. Let me print it out first and then put it in the chat. There we go, print. We're going to have some fun with this. So let me put this in the chat. If you, oh, actually, why don't I, because tell you what, I'll put it in the chat. A cute truck. Thank you, JG. I'm just using number 2 pencil was all I could grab. That's perfect. Whatever you have. All right, so let me share my screen real quick and show you what we're going to be drawing. So let's share my screen. Did I share the right screen? Stop sharing. Kazumi, did I see you? I thought I caught a glimpse of you. Are you there? There you are. Good to see you. How you been? It's been a while. Good to see you. Oh, you need to share your work. She's a professional artist taking our intro classes. So this is this is what we're going to be using. There's a lot of figures in here. We're just going to be doing a couple, but I'm going to show you how to break it down. If you do have your own, actually, I'm sharing my screen already. Oh, actually, why don't I do this? I'm going to break it down. So I'm going to annotate. And I'm going to use, let's use blue. Now, breaking it down, you want to do this on your own. You want to actually find pictures and then find the stick figure inside. Practicing doing this and then drawing your stick figure is going to help immensely. So let me see. Do I have my lines? Yes, I do. All right, so we're going to start off with, let's start off with this guy here. Here's his arm, and there's the elbow is probably right about there, and it's hiding back here. And then this probably comes, I would probably say maybe, yeah, it probably comes out here. I would probably say it's right about there. This one's a little tough because it's in perspective. So it's coming out here and there. And then I'm going to bring it down there to the elbow. And then bring this down here. It's pretty straight. And then if you wanted to draw the hand, then we have notice the angles of the hips. There's the hips at that angle. There's this leg here. And then that leg there. I don't worry about the curves yet when you're doing this. This is like a real beginning level. So we're going to be drawing these. The stick figures, and we're going the feet as well. And then there's a little bit of a curve. This would curve, but it can go back here. This is probably the hardest one because it is at an angle. So once we get form in here, that would be the next step. The next thing is not just seeing these lines, but seeing the form. Maybe we can do that next week. I'm just gonna, actually, this is gonna be a good one. There's the hips, there's the leg, here's the knee. Notice the angle, and then if you notice the lines on the outside. Oops. Foot, this hip, it's coming up, this leg comes down, there's the knee, comes in, there's a little bit of overlapping there. This arm here, up there, there's that, and the head. Yeah, the sports, if anybody's watching the Olympics, wow. Some amazing, there's this, oh, the running. I saw the running recently, was amazing. This one girl from way behind, and everybody knew, yeah, she's gonna come up, and yeah, she did. She comes up. This is a really good one. This pose here. I think this is the one I'm gonna draw. This is the one I'm gonna draw. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop, and then I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And then, oops, this goes here, and this goes back. And this is going back in space. That's why this leg here is smaller. This also helps with proportions too, because then you're seeing like, wait, what's going on? If you know, you learn the proportions, but this is not in proportion. It's because it's going back in space. And then you've got the head. All right, well, we'll do this one, last one. I think we'll draw these three on the right. I'll draw these three on the right. I'll do them as stick figures, and then I will do them as bubble people. This leg here, that leg there. Notice the angles. There's the hips. The hips are actually, we can thumbs up a little bit. There we go. And back. There we go. If you want to screenshot it, or if I put it in the chat, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to probably draw these three characters, and then we'll be done for the night. I'm just going to draw them as stick figures. It's getting late. Okay, there we go. I've got my figures here. I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. Hello, hello. All right. Wow, they're a little small. It's all good. Okay, so I start off with the head just to get the head is with the helmet, and I can actually, it's just an oval shape, and I'm seeing the middle of the helmet would be there, and if I would get some other detail in there, but no detail. Shoulders come up because of the shoulder pads. That's it. That's that line. I don't know what's going on. Why my camera's not focusing? I've noticed. Focus isn't that great. Maybe time for a new camera. All right, especially since we're going to be upping our production value. So there's the shoulders, this angle here, this arm here, and then this arm coming up. And then the hands, sometimes I draw squares or circles, but I'm just looking at the stick figure of it, And then here, this other hand comes out this way. And then the football, if I were to draw the football, and the hand at the end, but you don't have to. But I'm looking at angles, I'm looking at proportions, but I'm just looking at this stick figure. And then this figure, this is a little bit of an angle down. There's slight angles, not straight up and down. There's a slight angle to the whole body. Then the hips, let me see, which way did the hips? It's kind of hard to see with that shirt here. Yeah, the hips. I think the hips kind of go down. I'd probably say the hips. Yeah, because this leg is up. So the hips are going down. There's a slight angle to the hips. Probably say the hips are right there. There we go. And then once we get into the form, these are the basic areas, the hips, the shoulders. We'll break it into form next week. This leg coming down at an angle. It's not straight up and down. There's a slight tilt to it, that angle. And then it folds out this way. There we go. And then the foot kind of comes out there too. If you want to draw the foot as a shape. Oops. Nobody's saying anything. I'm too zoomed in. There we go. And then this one overlaps, the knee comes down. And then here they actually go a little closer together. And they do overlap. This foot is behind on that one. There we go. There's our first character. Ta-da! Wow. I think we're only going to get a chance to do one more. I think we're going to do this one. He's more dynamic, really dynamic. But you can see, you can get the feel of the character here, just with the stick figures, right? Just practice the stick figures, seeing the stick figures, seeing the angles, especially with sports figures. Look at some of the Olympians and then see, okay, wait a minute, where's the hips? Where's the shoulders? What are the angles? Break it down, break it down. That's how you solve any problem. You break it down. There's the head. The shoulders are, they kind of go up. There's this really strong angle for the shoulders on this character. On this, is he playing, I don't know, tennis or racquetball? I don't know. A really strong angle to that. Notice the angle here. Then there's the elbow, straightens out. The hand to a circle. If you want to do the racket, there's a racket. I don't know. You can't see that racket, but oops, you can't see my drawing either. Too much to the right. Oh, never mind. You're doing the lines on the figures. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. There we go. So here's our racket guy. He's got the racket. His chest goes in front. So I mean, there's that chest part of this whole chest area. Then the other arm is behind the chest, and then the elbows behind the arm and comes out here. The hand is right about there. Circle for the hand. And talk about forest for the trees, or actually the leaves for the forest. You want to see the big shape. Even when you're drawing hands too, don't worry about the fingers, don't worry about that stuff. You want to see the big things first. Go from big to small. So there's the hand. Good habit. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. All right, so the a little hard to see. I think about it. It could be straight, it could be actually a point. The angle of, because he's like totally twisted. He's twisted. But the leg does come out. Oops, probably a little bit longer. I'm looking at my space here. The hand, yeah, this angle here, this leg, I'd probably bring it down and seeing how things relate from that elbow. The knee comes out beyond that elbow, and then another angle here. That angle, this angle, and then the foot. So yeah, we are gonna get abstract drawings today. Abstract stick figures. Stick figures in motion. And there's that back foot. And that's it. That knee. Now the next level would be to actually fill them out, but you can stop here. Actually, we can do a quick next level, maybe 2 minutes. So if that's where you're at, or if you're doing your other figures, you can do your other figures. You need the other figures. But here's where you can start doing bubble people, kind of seeing how, you know, the arms are thicker, how the stuff kind of really fits in there, that shirt, bring in that thickness, and the curves off that center. Usually that calf is high up there on that side. There we go. This curves in that thigh. Boom. There we go. You can see this really quickly already looks like the football player. Just put the football in there. Don't worry about the details. We're just focusing on the proportions, the ratios, how everything fits, breaking it down, and then you can see, just fill it all in. And it, you know, and do a silhouette. And these are great silhouettes because you can see the action. You can see the action. Let's fill this guy out. See the legs, his thighs, top thigh, the knee, the calf, the Achilles heel, Achilles tendon right there. The shape of this, like a triangle. And let's get this back leg in here. And just shade it in. And you can do a silhouette. And don't worry about the detail. This leg, wow, I don't know what's going on with it. I would probably bring the foot down though. I'd probably give it, from my understanding of anatomy, would put a triangle shape there. This way would look more natural. Let's see. Chest in here. that shoulder, a little bit of contrast. And we're done for the day. Bum, ba, da, bum. All right, thank you for coming out today. We'll share your drawings, and if you'd like to share, you don't have to share. We just shared just to see what else everybody else did. You'd spend a minute or two shading or doing whatever you'd like. If you like your stick figures, just keep your stick figures. But looking for that structure, looking for that, and then helps. It really helps. Setting everything in. Raise your hand if you'd like to share. If not, we can move on to something else. Really, for second hour, I don't have anything planned for the hardcore heroes. We can do more figure drawing, get a little more into the form. The second hour. We'll take a little break. I see some hands up. All right. Let's see what you guys came up with, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly ladies. All right, we'll start with Yelena. What you got? Let me, oh, your video. You got to do your video. I don't see your video, Yelena.
Yes.
There you go. All right. Yeah. There we go. All right. I see you. Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah. And the shapes.
And your shapes. Oh, look at little birdhouse. Wow. You got it down.
All kind of.
Kind of. What's important is consistency, just keeping at it and figuring out what is it that you don't like, because you have taste, but what is it that, you know, it tastes sour, but what is it that's sour about it? Sean says that is so good.
It's so good. I'm really not good. That's my weakest point is the human form. It's just really difficult.
Yeah, no, they are difficult because they move around. So it's definitely up there. It's above form. So form first is shape, then it's form, and then it's the human form. So let's see, I'm upside down. Let's not. There we go. We got Regina next. Let's see. I'm still upside down. Am I upside down? No, there we go. What you got? Let's see yours.
My shapes.
Hold on. There you go. Oh, there's your shape. Oh, I got shading. Nice.
And then
forms. Yeah, your characters.
Figures.
Figures, sweet. Yeah, awesome. And this helps with angles too. It helps with angles. Thank you for sharing. Let's see, JG, what you got? So you got to do your video. I can't see.
Sure. I don't know if it's coming through, but
Yeah, it is. There you go. Wow, you got
that's so good.
Very nice.
so good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
sweet. Thank you for sharing. Sean, what you got?
My shapes actually aren't bad. I'm pretty good at doing shapes.
All right.
Oh, hello.
Here you are.
So not too bad at shapes. Where it kind of went sideways is the form. I just tried to, I couldn't really get the whole thing, so I kind of did the kind of a study of the arm, which is a little deformed, but I just decided to focus on one thing because I really am not experienced doing human forms.
No, that's fine. But I like you're getting kind of like a circular feel to it. You got that arm. I can see the head, the arm. Yeah. You're trying to add form to it. Yeah. And I think maybe you didn't have the actual picture, or that would help too. So look at magazines, try to find a magazine and actually go to the magazine. And even tracing is good. Tracing would be good to get going on understanding the figure and the proportions. We'll be doing it. It's a little more advanced. And
that's my regular stick person, at least. So that came out okay.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for sharing. All right. Anybody else? All right, I think that's it. Let's see, if you still need something, would you consider forms or of plants? Yeah, we can do plants. We can draw some plants. We did we do flowers? I think we did flowers. Yeah, but it's all the same. It's all the same process. So when you're drawing and looking at something, plants would be easier to draw than anatomy because, but you're still doing the same thing. And the more you practice drawing anything, the more you practice, the more you progress. So it's really about progress. It's not perfection. It's not going to be perfect. It's about, just doing it and having fun and shooting for that target. You're just shooting for, I don't know if you're shooting for accuracy or you're shooting for a story too, because that's really the ultimate. What are you trying to do with your drawing? Are you trying to capture an idea, which is really good? Capture those ideas. Oh, oh wow, I'm going to sketch this idea out, and then you can just using the forms, or even communicating an idea or a story. There we go. We can actually take our sports figures and do that with them. All right. Thank you for joining us this week. You're welcome, Regina. All right. Good night. And all right. So plants. All right. Thank you, Springer. Nice class. Night. All right. Night. Kazumi, what have you got? What's the latest? How's your book going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Oh, you got your hand up, so you got something to show. Let's see.
That's right.
I'm spotlighting, What time is it in Japan?
It's noon.
Noon. Oh, wow. How hot is it?
Now,
Has it been hot?
very hot.
Ooh.
Now I'm in summer vacation, so
Ah.
I'm free.
Oh,
So-
sweet.
because you have changed the date, and I could not, find the what I was teaching.
That's what I
Yes.
thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
How are the Olympics? How are the Olympics?
Olympics is good.
Yeah.
The COVID situation in Tokyo is awful. So,
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. It's getting bad everywhere. Wow. Is
yeah.
it a new variant, or is it just?
New variant, yes. Now
Okay.
90% of the positive case in Tokyo is a new variant.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow. It's and we're opening up our schools. Hey, all right.
yeah, I have been teaching in-person classes. Yes,
You've been what?
I have taught in-person close
Oh, yeah.
classes. Yeah.
How big are your classes?
Now it's because the max capacity limit, and only 8 students are allowed to take the in the class. So it would
What
be
are you
fit.
teaching?
Yeah.
What are you teaching?
I'm teaching art.
Oh, art. Oh, nice. All right, what you got? I can't wait to see your work.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
Michael Jordan.
Is that Kobe? Who is that?
Yes, I did from this one. I found this one now.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so hopefully people don't get discouraged. It's about hopefully you can see what I don't know, words of wisdom or words of like, I don't know, how can I say it? Because you start off, I don't know, you've been drawing for a long time or for a
I
while.
have done it a long time, yes.
Yeah, but because everybody always attributes, there's the myth that I think that people are born with it. What do you think about that? Do you think people are born with
I
it?
don't think that I say that if I always tell my students that if you draw 10 drawings a day after a year, you'll be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is about the
It is. It is.
practice. It is
Yes.
about the practice. I can speak and I mean, you know how to draw and you're speaking from your experience and I know how to draw and I'm speaking from my experience. When say,
Mhm.
oh, you were given this talent. No, I worked for it. You worked for
I
it.
work for it. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You cannot believe how much time I have devoted for drawing. So
I
yeah.
can see it. I can believe it. I've been there too. I mean, it does take time.
Yes, does take time. Yes, for everything. Good to see you.
Likewise. Thank you for sharing. Do you have any other stuff? You have any of your paintings?
Paintings? No, but I'm doing my work for
Your book?
this is for the picture show that I got ordered to make.
Oh.
So
wow.
now it's black and white, and they cut the paper. Black light picture show. So the people
Oh.
work for this is just the original drawing. This is on the way, but they cut the paper and this white part color comes. And
Wow. Wow.
it's a lot of work and
Yeah, it looks like a lot of work.
I'm getting tired.
I know I was getting tired of that drawing. Oh, you didn't get to see it on my iPad, the Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I have seen that. That's great. I didn't wanna, I wanna work for my iPad. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Procreate, I have not, these days I have not even touched the iPad. So,
Yeah, it's like my 5th drawing or 6th drawing on Procreate.
so good. Yeah, I was amazed
But
at
it's the same
how much,
thing. How much what?
how much you have improved in Procreate. Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
no, it's just basically time. I mean, the other drawings I just did really fast, and it's the same thing. It's just taking my time and getting in there,
Yeah.
it
I
takes
wish you can teach us the Procreate.
Procreate. Well, I'm trying to build a course. So I find there's really good lessons out there. When I find them, I want to put them in there. But I want to start like from really basic stuff. Really, I want to take it from like beginning and really take it, and help people step by step. But
Yes.
it's
I
takes-
want you to do that with Procreate from beginning to
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There's a really good video on Procreate. I came across it. Let me see if I can I'll put it in the chat. I sent it to somebody else who's doing Procreate. There it is. How to Procreate. Where is it at? Procreate, how to draw stickers. Procreate 5 complete artist guide. How to draw a cat. No. Let's see. Just Procreate. I don't think that. Let me see. 5 complete artist guide. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. I'll put it in the chat. It's the Procreate.
Great.
It's a really good video. It's a really good video. It just goes through Procreate, all the tools and everything. It's like 2 hours long, I think. Yeah, it's 2 hours long.
I will check it.
Yeah, let me put it in the chat. There we go. Yeah, Procreate. There we go. That's it.
Thank you. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
While the summer vacation, I wanna, do more for Procreate.
Yeah, look at that video. It's really good. There's also this other lady who actually, let me show you that. Actually,
Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently.
Ah,
that's you.
okay.
You've got videos. Let me see.
Yes.
This lady shows how to draw Procreate. See, Procreate cat. There it is. How to draw a cat in Procreate. She's really good. She's got
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't have any commercials on my. I have this ad cleaner. Let me share my screen. There we go. There it is. They draw this cat, and it's 2 hours as well. But
okay.
yeah, there you go. Some Procreate, and she's
Okay.
got. I'll put this in the chat as well. This one,
Okay.
but she starts off with basic shapes. The other one is an intro to Procreate that kind of shows you how to use Procreate. Let me put that in the chat. Where's the chat? There it is. So this one, paste. All right, cool. I'll play this one because this would be good for people just to see her process, because it's not about perfection, it's about process and practice. What's the process? How do they do it? So I'm gonna press play. I like watching all my videos at double speed, triple speed if I could. So you can see the cat there, fur and fluff. She's got brushes that some free brushes. Actually, you can probably, they're probably in the Bardot brushes. Yeah. Okay, so let me go. Yeah. So you can see she started off with the basic shapes, the basic
Oh,
forms.
okay.
So she goes.
Welcome back for another live tutorial. I am so excited about this one today. We're going to teach you how to draw this
I
cute
can't-
kitty
I
in
can't.
Procreate.
I just muted you. Yeah, and I lowered my volume down. But you can see, yeah, you see the head, you can see that one axis line looking down, looking up. That's all on your perspective, depending on your perspective. The cat's looking up. And see the different, shapes. It's a really good video. You can see she constructed with the forms. Basic stuff. But with me, rap, it helps explain all that stuff for the really beginner, because it's still okay. Focus on one thing at a time. Okay, let's focus on ratios. Focus on angles, whatever you're struggling with, until you get it. And then, oh yeah, so she lowered the opacity, is how bright or dark, and then she put another layer. So that's the stick figures we just did. Same thing. She's got that basic form, the stick figure, and then she's gonna build on top of that. And then you can see actually down here. Wish I can go faster. Actually, I can speed through it with my. Yeah, there you go. I can speed through it with my cursor. She's just tracing it. And she's following some of the rules, right, of creating space, overlapping pods, space pods we talked about. Overlapping placement, one's a little bit higher, one's behind. Oh, she's erasing the cat at a 3/4 view. Yeah, and copying, there she goes. Getting that form there. Fast forward, she's drinking her coffee. 5 seconds. Different brush library, her fur library, fur brushes. Fast forward. There's her brushes. She's getting in white first. That's interesting. She's laying down the white, almost like some paintings that I do. A real painting, I would do it with white first as a foundation, especially if I was working on a colored background. Starting to put the fur in. That's the fur brush that she has. And notice, this is a really important note, the way the fur curves around. So she has an understanding of form. So the way that the fur curves around the form, she has an awareness of that form we talked about earlier, and seeing that form. So this is a little more advanced, but it's something to look forward to once you understand, like, oh, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm learning form. This is why I'm copying, and looking for it, because it's everywhere. And once you understand, you can understand form, you can invent your own creatures and characters, and because you understand form at that level, and how things are constructed. Fast forward all this stuff. Let's move a lot faster. There we go. Oh, she's getting the color of the eyes, the shadows, the light, where the light's coming from top left. She's, I think, oh yeah, she's making little changes. Okay, she must have that on another layer. Oh yeah, there's the layers. Yeah. You can see her working. Oh yeah, a little more form. Let's see that, capturing that form. Tail. There it is, a little more color. And then some of the texture of that brush, really nice. Oh, she's using, look, she's using this cat as reference. There's that cat right there on the left, her left. Really nice. Yeah, I still gotta learn how to do that on my computer. Well, I know IPC gave me the told me which program he uses, but I got to go through my notes. Just been busy this week. All right, any requests? Let's see what's in. No, nothing in the chat. If you want us to draw something, we can draw figures. I can draw some more figures. Or if we want to call it a night, we can call it a night. Or it's noon. It's noon in Japan. Oh, it's been hot out there. No, it's been in the hundreds and the 90s. Oh, your sound is out. I see your lips moving, but there you go. It's been hot out there, 90s?
Yes, I think more than that, this is our record.
Wow.
That's great, thank you.
Yeah,
I
you're
need
welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
and it's just practice. It's just practice.
yeah, it is.
Practice.
It is. I have to finish my job first, otherwise I cannot play with Procreate.
Yeah, it's playing. It is playing. I know that's what I'm doing, playing. I'm like, and I'm like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But then I get totally lost in it. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, because I would have done it like that other one. The other one was done in Procreate, that Morgan Freeman. Yeah, there it is. Tagger.
Mm.
All right. Let's see. I haven't
That's
seen
so
it.
good. Thanks. Thank you for the great information.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yes, and this one's actually he breaks it down really simple. Look at this one.
Mm,
Yeah, that's Procreate also.
mm.
This is a different one. I think this is not Art with Flow. Yeah, this is somebody else. See, I would put this on my webpage, but I'm working on still putting it together. I'll put that one in the chat as well.
Mm.
All right. So I don't know if anybody we can draw something. Should we draw people?
Why
Yeah.
not?
Why not? All right, well, let's do it then. Why not? It's for the last hour. We're gonna go a little bit, make it a little more challenging. Let's go with something since we do have, if we go to our PDF, actually, why don't I do something from our PDF drive. So PDF drive is where we get a lot of books that PDFs are on there. If we type in figure drawing, do a search for figure drawing, figure drawing. Oops. There's a figure drawing test. I actually looked at this book. I didn't like it. This one too. That's the same one. This one looks really interesting. This one you can see it and break it down. The gestures and the forms. And this one's actually a little bit more form. Let me see. This one actually is more advanced. I like this because it's more gestural, more you can really see the structure, really see the way it's broken down. These get a little more advanced. This one looks really interesting too, anatomy and perspective. But I think we can go with this one. I don't think we can preview it. Let's see. No, it's too. Let me see. Let's go to the remote file. PDF drive. I can copy this. There we go. PDF. And if somebody else wants it, but you'd have to download the PDF. There it is. 30 seconds for it to download. So I'll put it in the chat. There it is. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch it open up before you download it. No, actually, this is a real. I've never had any problems with this website. Oh, I usually do open when it's done, but there it is. All right, yeah, this is very gestural. Look at that, wow. And here you can see the form, the construction, right? The form, and then this is a lot more detailed. But this is the structure. This is the wood of the house. You don't see the wood of the house. You just see the exterior, but it's the wood of the house, the form that helps keep the house up. So it's seeing this. This is really good. This book is really good. I can already tell. This is really good. You can tell they understand bones. They understand muscles. They understand form. Look at there's the cylinders. There's the ellipses I was talking about today. Yeah.
What's the title again, please?
The title it's in the chat. The title of the book is Figure Drawing, Design and Invention.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Design and Invention. Wow, look at this. That's yeah. So it's understanding, and it is practice. And here definitely start seeing, yeah. I have another book that it's called, and I met the instructor. He actually taught a lot of the Disney students, Disney people. And his book is called The Least You Should Know About Anatomy. So it's the least you should know. It's actually really good. I have some copies that he gave me. Yeah, muscles, interesting. Yeah, understanding. Yeah, look at there's gesture drawing. Gesture drawing, the angles, watching the hips. Look at the shoulders. This is what we talked about today. Notice the shoulders, the hips. Things to look for. Really basic stuff. And look, there's the shape of the. Look at, and these legs do go in. There's the shoulders. There's the hip. I really tried to break it down really simple today, but this would be more advanced. I would copy this. The 8 parts. The head, the spine, the arms. So this would be the next level. Next level. Yeah, there you go. Look at front view and side view. Notice the curves, the flow of these. Really nice. Side view. So this is like the structure, yeah, square, ovals, ovals. Those don't change. Ah, here it is, the C or S curve. That other, he called this California cool because the way it curves like this. You see that a lot when you're studying anatomy. One curve goes out this way and then the other one curves this way. When you're like for legs and stuff, you'll see that that rhythm. Not this, you won't see this. See how there's X's right here? No, you see it go one way and then the other way. The form does that a lot. Repetition and timing. Oh yeah, this guy knows his stuff. Yeah, the other book I wouldn't recommend it. I was looking at it like it has the ideas, but the proportions are not even in proportion. But these drawings here, it's terrible. I was looking at it, I was like, no, this one's good. Loomis is good. This is a good book. The Andrew Loomis. Maybe we'll draw from there. But we actually have drawn from there. So let's see what we can find. Let's find something that's like really just form, breaking it down. You can see there's the form. Ooh, these are nice gesture drawings. Very nice. You can see the curves. Yeah, very nice. Ah, something like this. This is what I'm talking about right here. Right there. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. The blocks that we did today. The angles. Yeah. I would say we draw one of these, something like that. Let's see if we can find it. I'm still recording, huh? I gotta stop now. Well, we'll see. Oh, look at that. Landmarks. I have to read. Yeah, these are landmarks. And that's what we kind of talked about, the landmarks. But real basic. This is definitely more advanced. I don't want to lose people. I'll try to keep it simple. Yeah, there we go. I want something like this. Ah, there we go. We're getting closer. Like a box person. Oh, look at that. We're gonna draw one of these. Look at those. That's what we did today, kind of. Look at that. Very similar to what we did today. Wow, look at that. Look at the forms. No, that's a little further art than what I wanted. I want something. Oh, let's go back up. I think we'll do this one. One of these. I like this. I like that, but it's not complete. Actually, you know what? This would probably be very beneficial. These ones right there. This one here. Yeah, this one. This will be good. This will be good. So if you want to screenshot this, try to get it full screen. Screenshot it. And I'm definitely going to print it out right now. These are like, yeah, this is, you can see the form. You can see how they broke this down into like a stretched out cube and a cylinder. Yeah, we'll draw this and call it a night. And you can again draw anything you'd like else if you'd like, any other form like you did. You drew. This is page 36. Print 36. Oh, page. Custom 36. One copy. Oh, not 36. Different page. Oh, that row 56. There it is. That's it. Let me zoom in. No. No. Oh, there it is. That's good. Just print one page. All right, so we're going to be drawing this character here. I'll be showing you some of the stuff to look for. The shoulders, the hips do have an angle to them. The knees in relationship. All right, let's get my paper and let's get going on this. Okay. Hey, look, there's a figure. All right. Figures from the day. There it is. Okay, so usually, I don't know, try to see how it's all gonna fit. I can do it like a really quick, there's the head, here's the body, here's the pelvis, and just like really real scribbles. I mean, just to kind of block it in really lightly. This is a good habit too, just to kind of get the feel for it and how it's gonna fit on your paper. So because a lot of times, I mean, it would have probably been better to do it vertically, like the paper instead of landmark or horizontal. But that would be a good start to just see how big this whole thing is going to be. And I did it pretty quick. All right, so the head, let's start off with the head. Well, actually, why don't we do the stick figure first? The shoulders would probably be right about there. There is a curve, that spine does curve. You can see my head. I drew it as an oval, and she does, this person, he or she, breaks it down into a form, into a cube with angles and stuff. Then there's the,
Oh, excuse me, Lario, and it's my screen or I see only
yes,
tiny
yes,
one?
yes, you're right. Let me stop sharing. Hold on.
Mhm.
You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. Right when you said it, I was like, oh, I know it's going. I know it's a problem. So hold on. Pin. There we go.
Use
There.
it, yeah, yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Don't let the what is it? Don't let the teaching get in the way of your learning. Don't let school get in the way of your learning. All right, there we go. That's must be much better. Thank you. All right, cool, good. So then this curve, the spine, and here this is kind of like a box, and this whole axis of the anatomical middle. This is the middle. So every time the hips and stuff like that, I usually we can check. Okay, from here to actually the bottom, it should be the middle, the center. So take that. I'm going to measure it from here using my pen, and then down to here, and you can see it actually right there. There it is. That's the anatomical middle. This part right here, right, the base of it's called the pubic bone, right there. So this should be my middle, my center. That helps with proportions, that finding that center. So there to there, perfect. I'm gonna barely squeeze it in, but that's it. That's it. So that helps proportions. So ratios, angles, proportions, and practice. Angles, there's a slight, I'm actually putting a little bit more of an angle here. This one looks straight across, but I don't know. Maybe I'll straighten it out a little bit. But here's an angle. But I'm doing the stick figure. The angle here, angle there, the hand there, and then I can flesh it out. I can flesh it out, that angle there. I'm going a little fast, so if you want me to repeat or slow down, I'll do that. So we're just going for it. If you are here and you're new, don't you know, good, take on challenges. It's always good to take on challenges. The hand does come out a little bit. I would probably go out like that. There we go. This comes out this way. Finding the right picture is important too. This is a good picture. It's a little light, but you can see the form. You can see the form. There's the leg, the knee. This comes down. There's a little bit of overlapping. This comes down. Here's the knee here. And this hip down there. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go up start from the top and really just bring it down with the form and more detail. I'm going to go back now. Now that I have my structure, I'm looking back and forth. I'm happy with it. There's this shoulder here, this neckline that comes in onto the chest. It's got this nice little swoop. And then the head, they've broken it down to like a cube. This is this part of the cube, and this would be the front part of the cube. And this is the top part of the cube there, those angles, notice the angles. This Y is upside down. So if it were to continue, you would actually see that part. There's a little bit of a curve to it. But it goes something like that. And then there's a center line. That center line. A little bit of looping to give it a little bit of a roundedness. And a cube. A little bit of a neck. Bones is the clavicle. To the sternum, that's the sternum. This here is actually part of the sternocleidomastoid, there's muscles here. And then here, this is the trapezium. It's from the back. Actually, this is a back muscle that shows in the front, in the shoulder. And then here, they broke this down into a cube. I can use my center line. These angles there, there's a cube. I'm just sketching it out. If you have questions, put them in the chat. If you want me to repeat, or if you say like, hey, wait a minute, how'd you do that? It's about asking questions, being curious. That's the learning mindset. It's like, wow, how did, instead of, I can't, you start like, wow, how? That'll definitely, well, how do you do it? How is that? How does that work? This is the chest here. This is like an egg. I think of this as an egg shape that has this cut out. It doesn't really move. This does not move as far as like, it doesn't change. It's the same form. What does curve is the back, and this whole all here pretty much is pretty solid all the time. So once you learn how to draw like a cap, and then how does it change in space? Well, that's all this is. It's just like an egg. And if you were to get an egg and put axis lines on it, and then practice drawing that. Get a marker, put some axis lines in, and move it around, and see how these axis lines change in space. That'll actually help too when you're drawing form. That'll be an exercise. That should be one of the exercises, one of the 5-minute bites, the video series that I'm gonna do. Quick bites. Here's a quick bite. Practice with an egg, and then practice. It'll be I'm gonna number them too, because it's already formed. So it'll be under the form number, which is, I don't know what number it is. So it'll be practice number 5.06. Draw an egg, right? So and then you can actually even take it to a really other level with the shading. And all right, so here you can see the bottom of that structure. They have some angles. The hand, actually they have it opening it up. The spine back here does open up. In my spine, I've had a couple accidents, so this lumbar I'm all too well aware of. Oh, this is interesting. He's got these lines going this way, and then these lines going up. So let me see if he follows. No, he's not following it. He has us looking like it. We're looking up at this character. I can tell the way the lines curve, except for here. These should actually probably curve the other way. This one right here. This one's wrong. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's trying to show that it curves down. Oh, that'd be interesting. Maybe that is what's happening. Then here, this is the pelvis. Really interesting. It's also a box. This is also a box. I'm gonna draw more of a box than they did, so you can see the angles. And this is good to know as a box as well, because this doesn't really move, change much. Understanding this form, that, and then just the legs and the arms are off of that. This is the main part. The torso, the pelvis, and the head. And then everything else just kind of hangs off of that. The arms, the legs. I'll just hang off of these three parts. Off of this joint here, you have this leg. Take on the challenges. There's another muscle. There's two muscles here. That's why they have another form there, that inner thigh. Got the knee here. There's a bit of curve. It doesn't really have too much muscle. These legs aren't really showing too much muscle. It's more bone. I really don't see the muscle, or even that California cool, or that curves. So the calf I would probably add a little more calf here and more thigh, and then you know, the hips. The hips right here. And then you'd have another muscle right in here. Bring that inner thigh muscle on this other side. Oh yeah, there it is. It is there. That inner thigh. See, it's just, I've done a lot of figure drawing. And I studied some of the muscles and bones. All right. I think that's it. I think that looks good. Oh, nobody said anything. Lift it higher, Chavez. Yeah, it's a great book. Downloaded it. Good. You're welcome. All right. Am I talking to myself? Who else is here? Well, we got 5 people. Very nice. 5 hardcore heroes. And it's just practice. It doesn't, you know, somebody said, well, Lise, is she here? Wonder if she is. No, I think she's gone. What do you do with all the work that's left? I mean, I don't know. I came across, yeah, just have a place for it. Give it away. Just, I mean, I don't know. She's coming up with a lot of work. She says she's doing a lot of work, which is good. Have a box. If the box starts to overfill, I think I'm going to create a video just for her. Well, as soon as I get things to flow, if I'll ever. I've got a lot of other things I'm working on. Little by little, step by step, inch by inch. I try not to get overwhelmed as I have in the past, but things are starting to move. Things are starting to happen, which is really good. I just gotta sometimes stay calm. There we go. Drawing does help, except when you got other things to do. It's like trying to stay calm and your house is on fire. It's like, wait a minute, no, you got to do something about your house. It's on fire. You can calm down later. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's what it is actually, huh? That's interesting analogy. Well, it'll happen. It'll happen. Those fires are almost out. Yeah, I don't want to start any new ones. We talked about a new business today. All right, that's actually pretty nice, I think. Yeah, that is a good book. Let me take a look, see another drawing, or just call it a night. I'm going to keep going through. Actually, I haven't seen any other ones. So let's keep going. Nice gesture drawings. Oh, that's a nice one. The guy laying down on his back. You can really see the form there. There's some more gestural drawing. Oh, that's nice. Oh, there's a good one. Ah, there's the box for the pelvis too. I should share that one. Yeah, this one. You can see the box, just like I talked about. There's the 3 main parts: the head, the torso, and the pelvis, and then everything else just hangs off of that. Noticing the angles, noticing that box. Yeah, that's half the battle there. And then that's the anatomical middle. So then down to here, that's proportions. Learning to see proportions takes practice. And seeing where the middle is, and certain proportions is just fractions, parts and whole, understanding the parts and whole and how they relate. And seeing the middle is important. Seeing fractions is important. That's a good one. Look at, oh, there's the star. Look at, this is what I talked about today. But here it is, the ellipse changing in space. There's the ellipse. Don't let, we don't have any minors. Right? Yeah. That's just a drawing too. Look at that form. These are cylinders. Yeah, it's a good book. Oh yeah, look at the muscles. Oh yeah, look at that. The deltoids, the pecs, pectoralis. Wow. Really break it down. I have a couple of books that are really good. Head drawing, the shading, they simplify the forms. Yeah, this is really good. The sphere, breaking it down into forms. Look at that. All right, I don't see anything in the chat. If somebody else would like to. Let's see. Oh, we do have something in the chat. Oh, see you next week. All right, Callie Roberts. Here, LOL. I kicked somebody out. Look at that face. It's so cool. This is really good. Yeah, this is the Loomis head. I wonder if this is the method. This is the starting with a sphere and then cutting off the sides is a Loomis. This method of finding proportions based on identifying, but they don't say it here. The Loomis method. Wow, look at that. It's cool. Yeah, this is the Loomis method and seeing the thirds, brow, the proportions, the fractions. Yeah, this is a lot more detailed. This would come afterwards when you start putting stuff together. It's understanding the planes. Wow, we're only halfway through this book. Jeez. Spider-Man. Yeah, the trapezium. This is the trapezium. This is that shoulder one I was talking about. Really breaks it down into nice forms. Oh man. And the way that curves, the head curves, it's nice. The planes. This would be good just to draw. I think we'll call it a night though. If you're drawing on your own, if you can keep drawing, look at this. No, I think we'll call it a night. Unless anybody has questions. I think we're down to just Kazumi. It's noon over there. Hey, yo, then it's time for bed for you. Just kidding. We got 4 people. Interesting stuff though.
Yes, it is.
You know, the muscles. Oh, look at, I love the way they break this down. This is the serratus major, serratus minor. They don't name the muscles. This is, yeah, serratus, the serratus muscle, remember studying.
Other is sciatica.
Huh?
Other is sciatica on low back
Yeah. Now this, I remember in another drawing book,
problem.
this is like a bow and arrow. So this would be like the bow from a bow and arrow. You imagine a string back here, the way it curves. It's a good way to see that. This is the clavicle. Oh, that hurts to break, I hear. I've never broken a clavicle, but yeah, it's interesting. Oh yeah, the muscles. Oh, look at that, wow. Really break it down nicely. Oh. Yeah, I really like the way they break it down. And that would be good to draw.
Really cool.
It depends on what you want to learn. Let me stop my recording. I'm still recording, I think.